The following program was produced by the students of the Brian Lamb School of Communication at Purdue University.
On this edition of Fast Track, the party scene at Purdue is changing significantly with new rules that may leave you surprised.
The leader of a nationwide movement visited the Low Playhouse to meet with students and Purdue professor Jennifer Freeman Marshall. Find out this and more on this episode of Fast Track News.
Hello and welcome to another week of Fast Track News Magazine. I'm your host, Mike Folta.
And I'm Maggie Mrczkiewicz. On a campus like Purdue, some days one red light can make you late for class. Navigating campus on foot is not always easy, and that's why this company is making it their mission to make your commute easier. The bird scooters you may have seen popping up around West Lafayette may be a good way to make it to class on time and have fun doing it. Here's Casey Snow to tell us all about this latest trend in campus transportation.
Thanks, Maggie. I'm outside Stewart Center right now. I've got my very own bird scooter, and we're gonna see if we can figure out how it works. Okay, so when you open up the app, it's gonna take you to this home screen here, and it's basically just a map that's gonna show you all of the available bird scooters nearby. So if you click on one of the scooters, that's gonna be this one. It's gonna show you the charge it has on it. You can chirp the alarm, or you could report it lost. So if you wanna ride, you hit the ride button, and then you get to scan it and unlock it. Now generally it's going to ask for your credit card number and for you to scan your ID, because you do have to be 18 or older to drive them. But once it's unlocked, you should be free to go. Alright, so now that we figured out how to unlock it, let's see if we can give it a try. And then once you're finished with your ride, it'll charge you $1 to start, and then 20 cents per minute you ride it. And then once you're done, you hit the lock button, you can end your ride, and it's canceled. So if you ride less than 1 minute, it's not going to charge you anything. And that's how you do it. I'm here with Devin Dorsey, and he is a bird catcher here on Purdue's campus. So Devin, can you tell us what it's like to be a bird catcher?
Yeah, so I've been a bird catcher for about 2 weeks now. So basically all you do is there's a separate map where you go and you pick up birds based off of different values on how hard they are to find, is how much money you get, and you basically just pick them up and then take them back to your place, charge them up, and release them by 8 a.m. the next morning.
For Fast Track News, I'm Casey Snow.
Thanks, Casey. As this fall semester progresses, it brings with it not only midterm exams, but also midterm elections. Fast Track's Midham U and Declan McInerney took to campus to hear about the midterm election from Purdue students.
InsideHigherEducation.com says that while college students' voting increased significantly from 2012 to 2016, only 18% of students voted in the last midterm election. So do you plan on voting this November?
I do not.
I do not plan on voting.
A 2014 survey found that only 18% of college students voted in the last midterm election. Despite that number being so low, we interviewed a Purdue student, Gavin, who's not one of them.
I do plan on voting in November.
Why is that?
I feel like it's really important to vote. It's our right as a citizen to vote, and every vote matters. You should always be able to express your opinion that way.
What issues are going to be most important to you?
Economic issues are really important to me, and a lot of civil rights issues are important to me. It's a lot of detail really when you get down to it, but a lot of different issues are really important on the ballot this year for sure.
Very nice. And now, more specifically, what rights are most important to you?
I feel like the right, freedom of speech is really important. You see that a lot of places in the world, they don't get the same rights that we get here, and I view that that is probably one of the best rights we have.
All right. And as a college student, do you feel that those freedom of rights, or those rights of freedom of speech, impact you more heavily or less so?
I feel like it impacts us quite a bit, because now more than ever is when we finally get a lot of ideas about the world and what we'll think about for the rest of our lives. And being able to openly express that with other college students really helps us to build upon those ideals and build upon those values that we have for ourselves.
According to the campusvoteproject.com, only 17% of people ages 18 to 24 cast a ballot in the 2014 midterm elections.
I have not informed myself enough for this upcoming election.
I am not very up to date on what is going on with politics and everything.
Crap. Jackson, why do I vote?
FastTrack News, I'm Declan McInerney.
Thanks, Declan. Don't forget to register your vote. Midterm elections are Tuesday, November 6th, and registration closes October 9th.
Coming up on Fast Track, the founder of the Me Too movement visited campus, what she did and how it impacted students.
Being involved in the 3-year program at Purdue made it easier to say to myself I could get done in 3 years. The 3-year program helped save me a ton of money. Not completing my 4th year, I would save around $30,000. It will give you an advantage, if anything. Doing the 3-year program at Purdue has shown me that I have motivation to do whatever it takes to get my degree.
Welcome back to Fast Track News. Tarana Burke, who coined the phrase Me Too more than a decade before it became a larger movement, visited Purdue on Wednesday to address sexual assault and harassment. Here's Xiaohan Liu with more.
The long line of audience in front of the Playhouse attracted people's attention. Sponsored by Purdue LGBTQ Center, Black Cultural Center, and Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies, a conversation about a journey of healing happened in Purdue campus last Wednesday.
I have been organizing since I was 14 years old. My life has been centered around social justice work. And I have, for the last probably 15 years, been really focused on women and girls of color. But during that work is when we realized that the girls that we were working with were encountering sexual violence in various ways. I met a young girl when I was pretty young myself. She was probably 12 or 13. She came to me and shared her history with sexual violence and the things that happened to her. It was the thing that was repeated, I was repeating in my head as she was telling her story, like, me too. Yeah, I know what this feels like. The magnitude of what she was saying was so similar to my life. I was just scared. I was 22, I didn't know. I ended up sending her to another counselor who I thought could handle what she had to say better and who would get her some services and figure out how to get her out the home or whatever, but I didn't tell her anything. And I have, over the years, written her letters in my mind, like I don't know where to send them, but just apologizing, because it just feels like the worst thing you can do as somebody who's committed to young people. My partner and I decided we have to take a step back and figure out what to do. Like, we were both survivors. So Me Too came from this idea that we have to do this groundwork first.
Christine Charles, a Purdue senior studying soil and water science, said she respects celebrities who are change makers and inspiration to people around us, but the meaning behind those hashtags to her friend really hit home.
People I know and people I went to school with felt inspired and comfortable after that. Really made me respect what these celebrities are doing, and that resentment didn't really last long. It was just kind of I guess this is the thing that celebrities are doing. But when it became a very human thing from my friends, it was really hit home. And I think that there were also friends that I know who didn't post, and I had a phone call when she went into the detail of the stories behind posting. I had my friend called me, and we had a conversation about it, and there's a lot of crying involved, and she didn't end up posting anything because she just couldn't. You know what I mean?
It became really real.
In 2017, #MeToo hashtag went viral on the internet and is brought in the vital conversation of sexual violence and sexual harassment into a national and international dialogue.
Thousands of women are using 2 words on social media to identify themselves as survivors of sexual harassment and assault today.
It happened to me too.
Me too. It happened to me too.
Professor Felicia Roberts, Brian Lamb School of Communication, said she thinks Berg did a wonderful job mentioning sexual violence is not only a problem to celebrity, but it also happens to everyday people.
Here you have, a woman who's just like everybody else. She's just a regular person like we all are. I don't know how you felt when you were listening to her, but I know I felt, and the friend that I was sitting with, she, we both said, wow, she just seems like a person you could just sit and talk to in your own living room. And so I think that, I think it's great that she had that kind of courage to first, address her own problem and then to help people address theirs as well, just in a really everyday way. Yeah.
For FastTrack, Xiaohan Lu and Din Dan Ho.
Thanks, Xiaohan. One of the best resources for Purdue students is the school's large network of alumni. However, it is often challenging for alumni to meet current students. Purdue Alumni Association is organizing a new event designed to build relationships between past and current students. The way they hope to make these connections, all by sharing dinner together.
Jimmy Cox has been with the Alumni Association for 4 years, but within the last month, they have adopted a new program called Dinner with Boilers.
The program asks alumni around the country, but especially in Tippecanoe, to host dinners for other alumni and students in their area.
Cox says there's a lot of research regarding getting people together and socializing over a meal.
So we just thought this would be a positive program to add to our repertoire.
Positive for alumni and students such as Braden Voorhees, a member of Glee Club and a senior in the College of Education. Voorhees and his Glee Club stay at a homestay when out of town for shows.
We literally go to their house, and it is their responsibility to take care of us for the nights that we stay with them.
Host will feed, set up activities, and provide lodging for the club.
I think it's an excellent way for us to connect with people that are affiliated with Purdue, but ultimately the alumni of Purdue University.
When asked what he would think about being involved in a program such as Dinner with Boilers, he said,
I would definitely enjoy being part of a program where I get to connect more with the alumni on campus. Because of the homestays that we've had, the alumni days that we've had on campus, getting to connect with those people I think are crucial for the students. I think it kind of reminds us where we're going to be going in life.
Cox says dinners will need to take place between October 26th and October 28th.
We'll promote the dinner or the event for you, but you're also more than welcome to tell your alumni about it.
To get started, go to dinnerwithboilers.com and create an account. Alum are then asked to create an event, while students in turn are asked to sign up. Taylor Dacre, FastTrack News.
Students are encouraged to take advantage of the opportunities that the Alumni Association offers.
Coming up, a change in Purdue Greek life and how it affects your weekend.
One of the things that I really enjoy about being a professor at Purdue and being able to interact with students is that oftentimes I get emails from students several years on after they've graduated saying like, your course changed the way that I look at sport. Your course changed the way that I think about our society. My research focuses on the amount of coverage and the type of coverage of men's and women's sports on televised news and sports highlight shows. What kinds of stories are the media telling about sports, and then how does that inform and impact the way we think about gender and race? My freshman year, everything was about boys football and boys basketball. We didn't have the language or the ability to articulate or to know better that if we were supporting the boys team, we should have been supporting the girls team as well. So I was really interested in kind of learning more about the cultural aspects of why some of those gender differences might exist. The problem that I'm trying to solve is how do we address the larger inequalities within sport that relate specifically to sociocultural factors. for me, that's important. It's just exposing students to a different way of thinking about and seeing their world.
Welcome back to Fast Track News. Greek parties and social functions have been constant on large college campuses for decades, and Purdue is no different. But new regulations for fraternity parties are trying to change the culture around these events. To learn more, we sent Fast Track Mike Volta to Purdue Frats.
It's a logistical issue.
President of Phi Sigma Kappa Aaron Hammerstadt and other Greek leaders have been handed down an edict by men's and women's Greek councils. So what is this new rule that has the Greek community buzzing?
So there's a lot of confusion about it. The way I understand it and the way it's written is that for people attending a social function, you have to present a valid 21 or older ID, in which case you're able to check in a six-pack or an equivalent to that to the doorman, who would then bring it down to the bar, and then that would be the only thing you get to drink from for the duration of the function.
The rule is relatively straightforward, but Aaron thinks that implementing it could turn out to be impossible.
It's really easy to go to another house and just bring enough 30 racks for all your guys or whatever. But now, if you want to follow the strictest sense of the rules, everyone has to have their own six-pack. So trying to get, first off, everyone to go to the liquor store on their own, get their own six-pack, and then drive to wherever you're going, or even keeping it here, is a nightmare. And on top of that, having the bartender have to be able to check out who you are and what's yours adds 6 extra steps. And when there's 6 people yelling at the bartender trying to get something to drink, it's a nightmare.
Despite the tricky demands of the new rule, Aaron isn't ready to give up on BYOB quite yet.
I do think it's a step in the right direction, because the way the fraternity system is running right now, it's going to very, very dangerous waters. And if things keep up the way they are, fraternities won't be around in 10 years. So something needs to change, but it needs to be practical as well. And trying to find that balance is going to be difficult.
Fraternities, sororities, and co-ops may adhere to the new rule, and they might just cast it aside. There are plenty of weekends left in the semester to figure out just how effective this new idea is. Mike Volta, Fast Track News.
Thanks, Mike. We'll be right back.
If you're a student who would like to save thousands of dollars and also show the world that you're a real go-getter, here's a way to do it. I hope every graduate of our College of Liberal Arts shares my intense pride in the college for its new innovation, the Degree in 3 program. Special congratulations to all those enterprising liberal arts students who want to come get a first-rate liberal arts education and do it on a faster track.
Welcome back. Every week, farmers and producers are selling a variety of goods grown or made here in Indiana. West Lafayette residents can enjoy locally grown fruits, vegetables, crafts, and more at the West Lafayette Farmers Market. Yahaira Martinez shows us what it is that keeps bringing vendors and customers each week.
On Wednesdays, residents from West Lafayette looking to buy from and support local producers come out to the farmers market, where they can find a variety of products not easily found at the grocery store.
Got started in 2005 as our first year, and it's been going every year since then. It's my 5th season with the market, and we have about 40 vendors, roughly speaking. Grapes and produce, prepared food, wearables, clothing, tie-dye stuff, and all kinds of.
Market Master Paul Foster says the market is a great way for the community to come out and support the local economy and local businesses.
Certainly benefits the local economy, not having to buy from something that is made in China or even far away, and something that's locally made supports also the creative side of what's going on. Our rule is it needs to be locally grown or locally made within a radius of about 100 miles. So that's pretty local.
But for the vendors, it's more than just the money. Through the years of participating at the farmers market, they've been able to form friendships with many of their customers.
At the end of the day, I do it because it's the money I make here makes the trip in the afternoon worth it. Certainly I enjoy, I've made good friendships here, I think, almost friendships anyway. I have my customers that come and seek out specific varieties from
all the people. I love seeing the people. I really enjoy the Thursday market with all the students, and I know a lot of people because I live in West Lafayette here, so I get to meet new people down there.
Reporting for FastTrack, I'm Yahaira Martinez.
That's all we have for this week's episode of Fast Track News Magazine. I'm Maggie Mirchkevich.
And I'm Mike Folta. We'll see you next time. I'm going to count my fingers like this.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
I'm very pensive right now.
Yeah. I mean, just as far as like thinking about stuff deep in your mind and like saying it is kind of like what we're doing. But...